Well, Thanksgiving is 3 weeks from today. Many of you will be spending a lot of time in the kitchen in the coming weeks, which can be dangerous quickly. In this week's Your Health Matters, 41 Action News anchor Taylor Himnes teaches us how to stay safe.
Taylor Himnes here at Grossman Medical Center with Dr. Megan Garcia to talk about something that's not fun to talk about this time of year, but important to talk about this time of year, and that's burns. These are all things out in your home that you might have this time of year, especially these with smoke alarms. And these are all possibilities that you see talked about in news stories a lot with burns. But one of the things that you want to talk about today is the dangers of cooking when it comes to burns. And that's something a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of this time of year.
Absolutely. We see a spike in cooking-related fires as well as scald or hot water burns during this time of the year. You know, people need to remember that they need to keep things away from their flames, such as wrapping, cooking utensils that can catch fire,
kitchen towels, that kind of thing.
Kitchen towels, exactly, or robes that they're wearing while they're cooking in those early morning hours.
That's right.
The other thing people forget about is making sure they stay in the kitchen. They might go to answer the doorbell but end up gone for 2 or 3 minutes talking to a neighbor while things are on the stove. So making sure you stay in the kitchen while you are cooking at all times.
Something's really interesting you said too, and so much of this is instinct, it's nerve, it's that split-second reaction when you have a fire in the kitchen, people want to get it out. But you say a mistake, people try to move it away from where it started, and that's a bad thing to do.
Absolutely. We see a spike in grease fires during this time of the year, and a lot of people see those flames on their stove and they want to move that pot out of the way or outdoors as quick as they can, which is the wrong thing to do. What ends up happening is they spill that pot onto the floor. They could slip and fall into it or spill it onto themselves. They need to remember to get a metal baking sheet or the lid of that pot, put it right over the top and turn off the heat, wait for it to cool down. That will take care of the fire rather than trying to move it outdoors.
When you say metal baking sheet, you're talking about like a cookie sheet kind of thing I can put over the top of a fire. That's one of the best things I can do.
For a grease fire, absolutely.
Okay. Now another thing we talked about too is very common with what do you do when you get burned. People have heard all their lives put butter on it. You said put mustard. I'd never heard that some people say that they do, but that's all wrong. Don't put food on these kind of things, or ice. Don't do that, you're saying.
Absolutely. Keep ice off your burn. Cool water is fine. Washing with soap and water is fine, but please don't put food over your burn. You don't put it over any other open wound. Don't put it over your burn.
A lot of people are going to say, see, I told you, as this goes on. Now, again, these are all things that you need to watch about in your home, but I want to talk about this back here. If we walk back here, this is a hyperbaric chamber, and this is going to be something that if you end up getting burned and you come here to Grossman, there's a strong chance you're going to end up in this for some of your treatment. Tell me why.
Absolutely. So hyperbaric oxygen is a tank where we pressurize with 100% oxygen. That is a few things. One, the patient breathes in that 100% oxygen, which gets to their tissues that need to heal with the burn. Second, it reduces the swelling around the burn. If you can imagine a burned skin, when it swells underneath, it hurts pretty bad to have the burned skin stretched. And then the third thing it does is that it reduces the bacteria that are in that area, because bacteria hate good oxygenated areas.
Absolutely. Well, you do not want to end up in this tube during the holidays. That's an important thing to remember. So if you don't put food on your burn whenever it happens, one, but two, much more importantly, keep that fire there where it started and get it out the right way, not the wrong way. Dr. Garcia, thank you so much for your Health Matters. I'm Taylor Himnes.